loved Edith more than life.
Edward, you are my fresh air.
I wish I was here to protect her.
So what are your friends, carnies?
Funny.
I was wondering when you get here.
I dragged the new kid to have some fun with us.
Where are we going?
It's an old tradition.
Move your arm!
Going somewhere?
I am Randy J. Goodwin, producer of the film. For 18 years, I've been pushing this project. We've had actors and actresses attached with name value that came in and came out. We've had money attached that we've lost. The housing market crash in '07, investors pulled the money, so it was an up and down roller coaster for 18 years. Gina, I put it in Gina's hands, and periodically she would ask, what's going on with the call? People would always like it. People always liked it. So I just felt, I gotta keep pushing until this thing is made.
Hi, I'm Timothy Woodward Jr., and I'm the director of this movie. It is 4:23 a.m. on Sunday morning, and we just officially wrapped principal photography, so that's pretty cool. I got involved in the project. It got sent to me by Lynn Shea and her manager, Miss Gina. I'd worked with Lynn on the Final Wish, and yeah, we had a good time on that. So when they sent me this project, it was a great premise, a great idea. And, I wanted the chance to work with Lynn again, so that was one of the big reasons for taking the project.
Lynn Shea, I play Edith Cranston in The Call. Edith Cranston is a woman who lives in a very small town. She runs a daycare center for kids and has a very good relationship with her husband, Edward. They never could have children. So the daycare center in particular means a lot to her because she really loves kids and really wanted a lot of kids. So these children sort of become hers, and she has one little girl that she's particularly fond of. The little girl disappears, and the town, it's real small town mentality about, of blame. And so there's a pack of young high school kids, and they pin the disappearance of this little girl Laura on me, and it takes a tremendous toll that they ridicule me and they harass me. It's really about bullying and hatred. To me, that's what the script is ultimately about, and what that does to people and what we do to each other.
Yeah, to get Tobin, even though he's Jigsaw, but he's human in this. And the younger audience, they know him as one thing, and they're going to see him as something different here.
Tobin is great. I mean, I'd never met him. We each have sort of unique followings. He played Jigsaw in the original Saw series, and of course James Wan and Lee Winnell, who created that, also created the Insidious series that I'm very much involved in. We each come with our own team of followers, basically, who loved the two series that we were involved in. And he's lovely. He's very kind and very quiet and private, but knows his story and his character very, very well, and is a real team player. I loved working with him. He was lovely.
So you let me honor my wife's last wish by making the call. Lynn Shea, who is in this show, she gave me a lot. She had very specific ideas about what she wanted to do and what kind of state she was in, and that's gold. Tobin Bell here, cheers, sitting in front of Jack Warner's desk, working on The Call. I've been doing this long enough to know that when someone is a true actress, and it was clear to me that right away that Lynn was coming from some very creative place inside herself, and all I had to do was play off of that. All I can say in a situation like that is thank you very much.
Lynn was really adamant about I want a human story. I want something that is not just a horror thing and spirits that people can relate to on a human level.
It's a really powerful theme. You know, when I read the script, that wasn't so prominent, and gratefully I feel like I got very active in it about promoting that idea. It's really about hatred.
They took me down until nothing was left of me but hatred and rage. And you know what's so interesting? You are in the same boat. You and your stinking little friends, you are all gonna suffer, and you are gonna die violently with your own hatred and your own rage.
But I think we're creating something really that's going to be really special. Timothy's great. He's got a very unique eye in terms of image and storytelling.
They're both such incredible just actors in general, like not just, you know, besides being iconic in the horror genre, they're just both really good actors. So that's like always a pleasure when you're working with people that are super talented, that are strong, and just they had some really good scenes together. So I you know, it was great for me. This is a carnival, and this was a kind of way of introducing the town in a more dynamic way. We wanted to do something different than just seeing a classical small town, so we were like, okay, what can we have these guys do? So we introduced Zach, we introduced Brett to Chris and Tanya, and you know, you kind of just get mixed up in their world a little bit. We find out some backstory, and we got to kind of create a really creepy environment and just do some cool stuff. You know, the kids were great. The kids they were cool. They had a great dynamic. They fed off of each other. They had good energy.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chester Rushing. I play Chris on The Call, and it is one of the most spooky experiences I have ever had in my life. I can't wait for you to see this movie.
But man, when I saw Chester, I knew he was the guy. I'm like, dude, Chester is Chris.
He's been basically put into the wrong place at the wrong time with a group of new friends that their entire day goes from what he thought was gonna happen to an utter nightmare. So it's a cool perspective to see the twists and the turns of the story, but Chris is new to town and he finds friends with Tanya and Zach and Brett, of course.
Hey, I'm Sloan Morgan Siegel. I play Brett in the film, and I'm here on the set of The Call. What separates this from other horror films? I think it's the characters. I think the characters, they all have so much more to them than just a a caricature. Like, they're not just a framework of a person that you throw on screen and you say, oh, that's the jock, oh, that's the nerd or something. Because when I originally read the script, my character was described to me as the nerd of the bunch, but then you read it and there's so much more to it. And every character is like that. Every single character has a lot of depth. That's the word, depth. They have a lot of depth, and I think that's what breaks it apart from other horror films, because you're working with characters with depth that are actually going through fear and experiencing all of these traumatic events and trying to survive. And you want them to survive.
My character in The Call is Zach, and he's sort of like a rough around the edges guy, but deep down, he cares about his brother. He has a good heart. The thing that I appreciate about this story is that it's not one-dimensional. Zach just isn't a jerk for the sake of being a jerk. Because of his father, you sort of get some of the backstory, and you realize why he is the way he is. I think one good thing about Zach is that he's loyal, and he does care about Tanya.
There is a mystery surrounding the disappearance of her sister. Everyone in town knows this happened. So even the point that Tanya's at now, where she has internalized this trauma and is trying to just go about her life, everyone around her knows. It's something you can't really escape, because she still lives in the town where that took place. Tobin has this one huge scene with us, and it's important that we're there, but he is hugely driving this scene.
He came in with that behemoth monologue that you see in the movie, where he's moving around us, swirling around us like a shark looking at its prey, and then all of a sudden he bangs out 9 pages. Right, 9 pages of dialogue almost. Brilliant. Brilliant. There's not a lot of people that can do that.
Well, the game's simple, really. There's a phone upstairs in the study at the end of the hall. All 4 of you must go up there, one at a time. There's a number next to the phone. You call it. You stay on the phone for 1 minute. You get $100,000.
That's it?
That's it. Easy as pie. It was a very, very challenging scene, and that's why I got involved in this project, because I wanted to challenge myself with this scene. When I read the scene itself, I was drawn to the challenge of accomplishing the material. It's intricate and a bit of cat and mouse going on. Timothy knows what he wants. I haven't worked with Tim before, but it's good to be with a captain of a ship who you feel confident in.
We need to do a slight push in when I call action 2, because you can see them tilting to the side.
I've never been in a horror film before. I really like horror. I didn't know I was a good screamer until we began this. But I've been getting a lot of compliments on my screams, which feels pretty good, I gotta say.
That was great for the scream, guys. That was great for the scream.
And I don't like horror films that just throw anybody in there for the sake of horror. You got good actors, man. You got a good script, and you got a good horror element to it. That these actors can bring out that realism and keep you attached to them through it. Yeah, man, we got something special here.
Tobin Bell here on the set of my new movie, The Call. Check it out when it reaches your local theater. Who was that? Another one of those damn kids?
I'm fine. I am.
Edith, you gotta let me take care of this. I can take care of them. Once and for all.
It was a pizza boy, and it was a wrong house. I'm fine, Edward. I am fine.
I don't like you staying cooped up in this house the way you are. You gotta go out. Get some fresh air.
Edward, you are my fresh air.
I'm not going to take those tonight.
Okay, so, I'm sure you're all familiar with this gentleman, right? Parker. Edison? And gold star for you. Yes, Thomas Edison. And we're all aware of his most famous inventions. But today, we're going to learn about his least famous one. Yes, Monica?
I thought Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone.
He did. Mr. Edison, however, took that invention a step further. He thought you could use the phone not just to reach out to living people, but to the dead. Yeah, you think it's funny, huh? You think this whole thing's a joke? Really? Okay, I have to admit I'm a little skeptical myself. However, there is a possibility to communicate with the dead. It is something that can happen. For example, has anybody here ever had a situation where you're thinking of someone, and the phone rings, you pick it up and it's them? I feel like I'm communicating to the dead right now with this classroom. Are any of you paying attention? What I want to ask you right now is, who has had a feeling before that there's some presence, someone lurking under your bed or in your room? And yes, you have. Good, excellent. Well, maybe it's real. Maybe there are spirits, right? Maybe the dead. We'll continue this later. I know you're fascinated. Get to your class, do your homework.
Okay, does everybody have a cookie?
I loved Edith more than life.
Edward, you are my fresh air.
I wished I was here to protect her.
So what are your friends, carnies?
Funny.
I was wondering when you get here.
I dragged the new kid up to have some fun with us.
Where are we going?
It's an old tradition.
Move your arm!
Going somewhere?
Oh, I'm sorry, old hag.
You're lucky my husband is not here. He would shoot you. Now get out!
Hello, Christopher. I'm giving you a choice.
I'm sorry to hear about your wife.
She included you all in her will.
I don't want anything of hers.
Not even $100,000?
$100,000?
There's a phone upstairs with a number next to it. You call it. You stay on the phone for 1 minute. Then the money will be yours in the morning.
Who are we calling?
My wife. She had me bury a phone with her.
Going somewhere?
She wants to talk to you.
Where are you?
When I made the call, it was like I was transported.
We're all gonna suffer!
Get on the phone. Devastating to her.
What do you want?
Vengeance.